My name is Adam Savva.
I'm Paul Gialo.
And this is the Entitled Podcast.
There's nothing that's off limits.
Yeah. I want to have everyone and anyone on this podcast.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And
you don't even...
Paul, wait. You're taking the fucking piss.
What am I doing?
I'm just saying you're taking the piss.
I think of the people that we can bring to this table, the people that can tell their own stories. And
that podcasting is like therapy. The main goal for me is to learn stuff. If I'm learning stuff, then I'm happy.
It's live.
And the minute the cameras are rolling, we're rolling?
It's action time, baby.
This is hilarious. Huh? I don't know. Nice. Just check on it in like 10 minutes and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's all right. We don't need that much footage of me.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. It's only going on my highlight.
We're
reel.
rolling. This is fun.
This is fun.
Is he in focus? Because sometimes that just racks focus.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I better be, bro. This is going on the Tinder.
I'm going to have some water before we begin. Would you like to sky some water?
No, I'm okay.
It's COVID-friendly water.
I'm sweet, bro. I'm good.
Right.
Let's get going.
Right. Okay.
Let's do it. Untitled Podcast.
This is it.
This is it, bro.
This is the beginning of a new era.
The beginning of a new era. Something that we've spoken about for yonks.
Do you know how long? When was the first time I actually said to you, let's do a podcast?
I think back end of last year, like
really
October, November.
It was an idea for me. It was an idea for me since before lockdown last year. That was when I was like, yeah, I really want to do one. And then lockdown hit, and then coming out of lockdown, I was like, yeah, I want to do one. And then I remember I rang you.
Yeah.
I said, do you want to be my co-host?
Yeah, I was all over it.
Yeah, you was like, why are you even asking me?
Like, yeah, stupid. You should be telling me. That was around the period we did Ripples, wasn't it? And we spoke.
It was either just after or before.
But I know we spoke about it loads.
Yeah, I mean, how long have we been planning this now? And now we were at the amazing Pirate.com studios.
Nice. Big up Pirate.
Big up Pirate. I'm going to say a big thank you to Lewis Burgess. Is that how you say your surname? Burgess. I'm always scared I'm going to say people's names wrong.
L-Dog Burgess.
He's our videographer for today. My name is Adam Savva.
I'm Paul Gialo.
Is it Gialo?
Gialo.
Gialo. I've always said Gialo.
It's Giallo, which is Italian for yellow.
Oh, okay.
We can, for all you history nuts out there, you can probably guess how a black man from Congo came to have an Italian surname. But yes, I'm here.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
Yeah.
And this is the Untitled Podcast. Now, for anyone out there going, is the podcast genuinely untitled, or is that your name? The answer is yes.
Just yes.
Just yes.
Just yes. Full stop.
Because it's a bit of both, really.
Yeah.
We couldn't think of a name.
You're giving away all our secrets.
I'm
bro,
sorry,
on the first
but it's true. Like,
and
then I was speaking to Lewis last night, and I was like, it still doesn't have a name. I was like, it's untitled. And then Lewis made a really good point where he was like, well, that kind of leans to what you want to do in terms of, you want to have guests on, you want to have any type. Like I can't remember who I was pitching it to, but I was like, yeah, I want an OnlyFans model on it in a few weeks. Why not? Let's bring one on. I want to know how that industry works.
Yeah. She can sit here just so I can protect her.
But yeah, like I want to have everyone and anyone on this podcast.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And the main goal for me is to learn stuff. If I'm learning stuff, then I'm happy.
I think I'm on the same wavelength. I think for me, this is about, there's people out there with stories that you can't even imagine, stories that you've never even heard. And it's funny because, knowing that the stuff we talk about, if we bring someone to the table, we can dissect anything and everything. And like you said, it's just about people's life experiences, and we just want to learn, really, to be honest.
And it's like, I genuinely couldn't ask for a better co-host than you, because genuinely, because for example, we was on a shoot a couple of weeks ago, and we ended up driving around London with my good friend Jay, shout out Jay, for about, how long was he in the car for that day? Like 3 hours?
Yeah, about 3 hours to be fair, the drive time was, yeah.
And that conversation that we had went from everything from politics, racism, sex. Everything was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything was spoken about on that day, and I went, "Why aren't we filming this?"
Yeah, literally.
Because that was a great podcast
it
episode.
Was unbelievable.
And it was kind of like a test run for what this podcast is going to be.
Yeah.
And I genuinely can't wait to see what this.
Oh, me neither. I think you said it there, but just to add to it, I think it's more about there's nothing that's off limits.
Yeah.
You know, the world is. There's endless things to talk about. There's endless things that people do each and every day that are worth conversation. And I think things like this just add another layer of complexity to this conundrum that is life.
Like it'd be stupid of us not to say like it's something that nearly everyone's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think we've got two very different people in me and you, but very similar at the same time. That, like you said, nothing is off limits. Like we will talk about everything and anything here.
Yeah.
You're gonna get an opinion from someone who from the creative industry, someone from, if you want to give a little bit background about yourself, about what you do.
Yeah. So I do a few things at the minute, to be fair. I'm working as a player representative at Powerhouse Sports Group. So you can say that I'm a budding football agent, and that's really cool because, as you know, football's been a passion of mine since I was yay high, and working in an industry that I've loved, and working particularly in a role that kind of brings together all my interests and all my strengths, I think has been wonderful. And I also do a bit at Pfizer in the policy and public affairs team. So been
for all you people out there that are jabbed up already, thank Paul. Yeah, because I'm still waiting for my fucking vaccine. You pricks are fucking vaccinated. I want to go Canada. What the fuck's going on?
We'll have a chat after.
Sort me out.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of the one? I don't know what country it is, but a woman was vaccinating someone, and she took the vaccine out, and as she took it out really briskly, and she's put it back in the arm by accident.
Oh God!
And it was I was on the floor laughing.
Oh God!
Going there, it's brilliant. I need to find the video. It's absolutely
yeah. But I think for me, this stage, certainly in my life, it's just about what I can gain in terms of learning and experience, because I know what I want to do, and I know how I want to get there. But I also, I've got, like you, I've got so many interests. I just want to soak up everything that I can, and just learn really and have fun doing it.
That's exactly the same with me. Like, I'm really happy. I know we've been saying we want to do this podcast for ages, and we've been back and forth with what studios we want to use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy we did it this week because I turned 21 last Sunday.
Happy birthday.
No, none of that. But no, genuinely, like, I turned 21 on Sunday. It was Greek Easter. I'm a Orthodox, even though I tend to say to people I'm Orthodox. I believe in God, and Orthodox introduced me to God. There will be a lot of God.
Religion's
going to be a huge
to feature on this podcast.
Do you know who I really want to bring? Like a preacher.
Oh yeah.
And then someone from another religion. I just want to. I don't want them to debate. I want them to find similarities in the religion, because I come from a standpoint of every religion is the same in my opinion, and they're just told differently. They're just the same story but told. But there's more to dissect.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been a really special week for me. I turned 21. A lot's changed. So I feel like this is a really good time to start something that I do want to deliver on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's funny how everything happens.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you mentioned what this week's been like for you. For me, it's just been the start of May. It's just been another week. No birthdays, no Easter, just working really. But like I said, this is something I've been looking forward to doing for ages.
Yeah.
So it's just nice that we can finally get started and get on it. Really
brilliant. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
honestly,
mate, I'm buzzing.
I'm buzzing for who we can get in because we already know some people that are going to come on in a few weeks.
Exactly. So many stories to tell.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. Like, I was talking to someone and they said, "What do you really want from your 21st year in life?" My dad looks at it really interesting. Actually, he says you're actually on your 22nd year of life, but I still don't really understand the concept. But he explains it very well when he says it.
Yeah.
What do you want? And I said, I really want to learn. I want to learn. I want to grow. That sounds weird. I want to. I don't need to grow. Do you know what? That's going to cut out.
Wow.
That's probably not going to get cut out.
Wow. I'm not going to say anything.
yeah, I want to learn. I want to try new things. I want to grow. I want to be a better human. And I think a podcast is if I can sit down with someone different every week and just ask about stuff and learn stuff, then I'm happy.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I was speaking to a friend earlier who she's going to come on in a few weeks, but I think for me, not giving too much away, but for me, her story inspires me because a year ago we were sitting in the same A-level class and she was telling me about the things that she's doing now, telling me that she's going to do it, and to see her do it is just, it's nuts. Like it inspires me.
Yeah.
And she's got an unbelievable story, and I love her to bits. And again, it's just that thing of the people that we can bring to this table and the people that can tell their own stories, and it gives an extra dimension to what they do, and it gives people, hopefully people watching, just a bit more insight into different things.
I think we should just get straight into it with some stuff that we want to talk about on the first week.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we should start with sport because genuinely, right. So let's introduce ourselves. Paul's a Man United fan. I'm an Arsenal fan.
We don't get along in that sense.
No,
we do not. I love him. He's my brother. But when it comes to
Man United and Arsenal have been. I mean, all like Lewis, you're a Spurs fan, right?
Yeah, that's why he's not on camera, by the way. He asked to come on before. We're like,
you were going to join the Super League.
Stay
really?
Over there. Stay over there. Love the Super League.
That's something we need to talk about.
Oh, facts.
Because your tweets about the Super League are fucking generational, mate. You were back in the Super League.
I love the Super League. Bring me Super League.
Do you know what?
Now.
Right. So we should say we're doing this podcast the day after Arsenal got knocked out of the Europa League I can't even speak.
Yeah.
Europa League semi-final. I was in tears last night. Genuinely, I was in tears last night because I was talking to someone today. It's like, why does football mean so much to me? And I went on a long spiel, but that felt worse than when Arsenal lost a Champions League final to Barcelona. Right? And there's going to be some Arsenal fans going, you fucking idiot. That was the worst night of my life. No, that last night was the worst night of my life. Genuinely, we played as if it was a pre-season.
It was bad, wasn't it?
It was terrible.
So bad.
Meanwhile, you lot are up in fucking Rome.
Cruising.
8-5. 8-5.
Cruising. Cigar.
I don't think you win the final, though.
Do you not?
Nah.
Oh, do you know what? We're going to come back in a couple of weeks after we win, and we're going to revisit this clip. We're going to revisit this clip, by the way, because I think we'll walk the final. I'm going to be bold and say
Emery,
we'll walk.
In the Unai Emery League.
In the Unai Emery Cup, yeah, we'll walk the final. I think we will. I didn't even watch the game. That's how invested I was into Arsenal last night. I didn't even watch Man United because I knew.
You watched the Arsenal game instead?
Yeah, I watched the Arsenal game instead. I wish I didn't, because Man United, the tie was pretty much over, but there was still 5 goals in the game.
Cavani is
he's unbelievable.
The best signing.
Oh, he's unbelievable
this year.
He's unbelievable.
The best signing of this year.
Do you think?
Yeah, genuinely.
I think he's up there, but for me, it's got to be Ruben Diaz. I honestly, I know you're Portuguese.
You know what? I don't count any Man City signing. No, genuinely, I love Man City. I want them to win the Champions League. They are my, no offense, they are my second favorite team in the league. Oh, no. This is something everyone needs to learn about me. I'm a diehard Arsenal fan. Wear all the kits. Will go to every game if I can. Watch Arsenal fan TV until I die. Will cry about the team and everything. But I am a secret Leeds United fan.
He's coming out. He's coming out.
No, I'm a secret. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not a secret Leeds United fan. I'm a secret Bielsa fan.
Oh, okay. You know what? I can sympathise with that. He's an unbelievable man.
Just everything that football represents for me, like the style of play. Like he does. I don't know if you've heard about this in training. He does murder ball.
Oh yeah.
Where he's just like no referee, no cards. Go out there. Don't get tackled.
Yeah. My close mate told me about that. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I for someone like me who's aspiring to be a coach as well, so I'm trying to be a filmmaker and an actor and a writer.
He is basically a Swiss Army knife. you know them knives that you get. It's just got bare things. It can do everything. That is this man right here. That is this man.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Oh no, yeah, of course it is, mate.
But I try I try and do many different things because I think that's how you grow. And like me and my brother talk about this all the time. Is like, do you want to be a master of one or a jack of all trades? And a lot of the time, people are like, oh, you should be a master of one. And I'm like, no, I want to be a jack of all trades.
Ditto.
And then in years to come, I can master one.
Yeah.
And I can decide.
Yeah.
You know, and I can master one for a short period of time. But anyways, yeah, I'm inspired. I'm a training football coach. Got my own team. Only lost 2 games, and we've played about 15, 16.
Invincible, or almost
Invincibles.
Almost invincible.
I will,
That, by the way, disclaimer, is not the most impressive team the Premier's ever seen. But that's a conversation for another week. Continue with your coaching.
Paul just said something that is absolutely
Blasphemous.
The Invincibles team is the best team to ever grace the Premier League. 49 undefeated. 49, I say.
Didn't you have like 11 draws that season? Or whatever it was, 8 draws?
Bro, we didn't lose a single game.
Okay, well, Man City got 100 points. Man United won the treble.
Yeah, and that was an exceptional team.
Better than the Invincibles.
No, disagree. All right, anyone in Man City's team would go into the Invincibles team. Name one.
To be fair, I don't know much of the Invincibles team, but that centenary team, cases could be made.
Thierry Henry. Let's just leave it there.
Probably Kevin De Bruyne?
Okay.
Who was your right back in the Invincibles team?
I don't remember.
Exactly. Kyle Walker. Centre halves?
I don't remember. Now you put me on the spot now.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, to be fair. It was ages ago. But who was the keeper?
Lehman.
Okay.
Was it Lehman or Seaman?
I'll let him off. Seaman.
Is it Lehman or Lehman? A lot of people say Lehman.
Lehman. He's in a bit of trouble at the minute as
he
well.
Is.
Oh.
Did you see the WhatsApp message?
Oh, token black guy. Oh. Mate. Yeah.
I do want to talk about Arsenal quickly. We'll come back to
that. Yeah,
no,
go. Shoot.
Because last night was a huge moment for me where football meant more to me than just 11 players playing a game of football, really going out there to win. It felt like that was a defining moment in Arsenal's future. And last night I was definitely Arteta out. And the whole season I've been Arteta in. And I've
this is gold.
I'm still.
He has to go, blood. Hit it.
Stay or go.
He has to go, blood.
And who would you bring in?
Okay. Allegri blood.
Allegri blood.
No. So that's my favorite video of all time.
Oh, mate.
That and rest in peace,
unreal.
Claude's
It's time to go.
It was his funeral today, and they actually
they
left some flowers outside the Emirates today, and it brought tears to my.
Really?
I'm a crier. I've learned that this
What a
year as
guy.
well.
Hey,
It's
nice to have a little cry.
But yeah, so last night I was definitely like, it's time to go. He has to go, blood. Like I was definitely there. And then I woke up this morning, Arsenal on my mind. If anyone follows me on Twitter knows that I love a rant.
Oh, mate.
And I kind of went, no European football for Arsenal could be the best thing that happens next year.
Really? Go on.
It would mean that Kroenke might have to sell. No, hear me out.
Daniel Ek in.
Daniel Ek in all the way. I want free Spotify. Yeah. Listen to me, yeah? Listen. If we don't get European football next year, it means that Kroenke doesn't get the funds and he will have to fork out his own money, which we know he doesn't like doing. And I don't know if you've seen the video of Vince McMahon basically saying Kroenke needs to be locked up.
Yeah.
Right?
And if Vince McMahon is telling you you're a bad businessman, then you've got to be damn bad.
You've got it wrong.
You're bad.
Yeah, if Vince McMahon's telling you that, you need to sort your life out.
Vince McMahon, sorry, disclaimer, he's done some horrible
oh
things,
my God.
by the way.
We could have a whole podcast about Vince McMahon.
That's a separate episode by itself.
I will happily bring him on and just say, tell me everything you've done wrong about
Vince, if you're watching, get your ass on here.
Yeah. Stan Kroenke needs to go. I drove past the protests, the first ones, and it was magical. It was like the first time that I thought Arsenal Football Club is Arsenal Football Club in a long time. Yeah. Like, it was beautiful. It was, oh my God. But what we found is a unified, and this was across, and this is funny for you because you like the Super League.
Oh, I loved it.
I was against it.
now there's no European football. Look who comes crawling back. Look at it.
Do you know what it is? Man City PSG was a really good game.
Yep.
It was a really good game of football.
I agree.
Do I want to see that level of playing every week? Yes. But do I want to see Arsenal versus Real Madrid every week? No. There is something beautiful about European nights.
Do you know what? To an extent, I agree. For me, I think it was more, we football purists, if that's what you want to call them, we rant on about wanting to watch amazing football. People don't want to watch Burnley sit in and defend for half the game and try and hit you on the counter. People don't want to watch teams playing sideways. Well, that often happens in the Champions League. Yeah. That's just the nature of it, because you're going to have smaller teams and bigger teams, and the smaller teams are going to try and get results. So I think what the Super League gave us is not dissimilar to how the Champions League was formed, not dissimilar to how the Premier League was formed.
And quickly, before anyone that agrees with Paul thinks, I'm not recognizing UEFA's corruption. UEFA is probably the most corrupt organization in the world.
Oh, yeah.
After the WWE. Shout out Vince McMahon.
Vince.
My problem with the Super League was only that it was buying. There was no competition for me. But suddenly, these 6 clubs, and I'll only focus on the English clubs, had how much money were they getting offered just to join the league?
Billions, isn't it? 300
it's a joke,
mil.
right?
Yeah,
so
nasty.
that you can sign 2 Mbappes with that, essentially, right? Or 2 Haalands, right?
And have money for Deliveroo afterwards as well. Yeah.
We will be ordering something in a minute, by the way. So if halfway through this turns into a mukbang,
Julius.
But I was lost my thought. I thought about food. So they were just buying success. But success.
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 Yeah, correct. I
Sounds
think
really weird.
for me, I agree with that sentiment. I think you've got to have an element of competition about it, but it wasn't too dissimilar to how the Champions League was formed, or the Premier League, because the Champions League and the Premier League took the best of the best, the richer clubs, and they formed a league, which we now know and love. I think the Super League in concept was trying to do the same thing. I'm not too sure about how they went about it, and again, the competitiveness. I think you should get promotion and relegation.
Exactly.
But I do agree with the fact that if we want to watch more exciting games, that's the only way. Like, I know that, I've had this conversation with friends and they've said, who wants to watch PSG versus Man City every other week? Well, we did. And it was amazing. Yeah. It was beautiful. And it wouldn't be PSG versus Madrid every week. It'd be PSG versus Barcelona. And these kinds of games don't happen. Now, my other point is, the thing with tournaments, with like round robin tournaments, is you can sometimes not fluke your way, but you can sometimes win by avoiding the bigger teams. The format of the Super League means that you can't, because everyone plays everyone. So if you win the Super League, you are the best of the best of the best. Like, you can win the Champions League without playing a Man City or without playing a Barca. But if you're in the Super League, you've got to play everybody. You have to play everybody. And if you're not at it, then you won't win the Super League.
But I go back to, like, it felt very, and like, I'm someone who goes, the MLS system in America is designed to make it feel less special than the Premier League and all European tournaments and leagues, right?
Yeah.
And I think we should, as Europe has a really big responsibility to actually make football in America as important as Europe, because there are talented soccer players in America, right? But Pulisic, for example, right? Like, you have talented American players that just will never come over to the Europe and will stay in the MLS system and hardly come over. And then when one turns up like Pulisic, we're all like, oh my God, look, the one American, he's great.
Yeah.
Europe has a responsibility as the founding fathers of football to spread this sport, which is already on a massive scale, right? And use all the money that it generates to make it a worldwide sport. Yeah. Am I someone that goes, the Champions League format needs changing? Yes, it does. It's mundane. It's not boring. You still get really entertaining football. Correct. But it's been the same. Yeah. And people were upset about the Premier League when it started in 1992, right?
Yeah.
So the Premier League is fairly new. Will the Premier League change soon? Yes. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Don't know what. But I don't think the Super League was the answer. I think there's an incentive there. Does there need to be more competition or a new style of competition? Yes. But should it be that you buy your way in? No. Should it be that the owners of these clubs that do have more money went there. If we can we go and set up our own tournament, us Big Six a year, and it's pre-season. And it's like the best of the best, and it's all our own thing. And they went through UEFA and FIFA and all the governing bodies and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
by doing it behind their backs, basically said we're doing this purely for money, to feed our own pockets, and to make the rich richer. And those poor clubs like Burnley. I don't know why Burnley are getting it today. Like
Sorry, Burnley. Sorry, Sean Dyche.
I love Sean Dyche, but like them, you don't matter.
I get that. I totally do, and I agree with the point that I wasn't necessarily too pleased with the way they went about it. But I also think that the media reaction was so overblown. As soon as something is hitting people's pockets, that's when everyone jumps. Like, imagine this kind of reaction to racism on the football pitch.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my days.
100%.
Andre Kudela got a 10-game ban or whatever it was for racism.
I know.
Me personally, you shouldn't kick a ball again in professional football if you're racist.
No.
But it's like people were so upset because it affected people's pockets.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't agree with. And I think, yes, there's a diplomatic way to go about it. You know, you go through the formal processes, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that the Sky Sports and the Premier League,
BT Sports all right. I like BT.
Yeah,
because they're fairly new.
I don't mind a bit of BT either.
They're nice.
But people were... Yeah, exactly. And that's a great initiative. Streaming the
Sky Sports will give you a few highlights from 1982 and make you feel like you matter.
Like, but the Champions League used to be on ITV.
Yeah.
You used to be able to watch Champions League football for free, for
I'll
nothing.
never forget. I can't remember who. It was Man United were playing someone, and it was a Champions League semi-final. And Rooney scored this goal last minute, and Ferguson just went mad, and it was on ITV. And I remember just going, fuck, why am I an Arsenal fan?
It's only because it hurt people's pockets that people had this overblown reaction. Because even in the early stages of the Super League, no one knew anything. Like, they just said we're forming a Super League. They hadn't said anything really about the format or the exact ins and outs. People just heard, oh, money, right, do it. If we had the same reaction to other injustices in football, like, personally, I think women's football could be a lot bigger than it is. Like,
huge. The talent in women's football and how entertaining it is at the moment. Like, did you see that Chelsea City game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a game.
Mega.
What a game.
I watched the whole game.
Yeah.
I found myself like flicking through channels and I was like, do you know, I'm actually going to watch the whole game. It was amazing.
Unbelievable.
But again, it doesn't bring profit.
It's not an area of interest.
But
exactly.
shall I tell you what it is? Like, I find it really funny. And this is actually something that you might understand as well for filmmaking stuff as well. It's like, all right, let me think of a way to word this. People won't back something because they don't bring profit in, right?
Correct, yeah.
But they are the initiators in what makes profit or not.
Exactly. They're the stakeholders.
So something I compare film to a lot is Marvel, right? I will happily watch. You are a Marvel freak.
I love... Oh, right. Listen, mate.
Do you like Marvel?
Put it there. Oh, my...
Really?
Where has this man been the whole time? Oh, okay, I don't know about that one. You lost me on that one.
See, I'm a Trekkie. I'm a Trekkie.
You don't. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, man.
But no, like Marvel has now the platform to really push young, talented, help me with the word, indie style films, right? They have the platform to do that because they are the most, like, they beat Titanic. In
highest grossing film ever was Avengers Endgame.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have now the platform that James Cameron did. And James Cameron made Avatar and basically introduced CGI to the world, right?
Very much, yeah.
And then he said Avatar's 2 is coming, and it's been 14 years, I think. How long has it been since Avatar 1?
2009 it was, so
Fucking
12 years, yeah.
Right. He's got 5 avatars. What's going to happen in them?
Kinel, James. The Na'vi.
Your memory
Blue
is
guys.
impeccable.
The Na'vi.
I just remember them getting their hair and like...
Yeah.
Because didn't the guy in it stay as a Na'vi at the end?
Yes, he chose to stay, yeah.
Interesting. He died.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 12 fucking years.
If you haven't seen Avatar,
But anyway,
sorry.
so James Cameron had the platform to do something, and I don't think he really did it. I think he opened up a few things to for an incentive for young filmmakers. But that was really it, right?
Yeah.
Marvel now has this responsibility, and it's the same with football. They have they go, what's making us profit? Champions League, Premier League thing. Yeah. Suddenly a Super League comes in, and they're like, "Fuck, it's not going to make us profit because they're not
us profit."
So, but they have the incentive to push things like women's football, futsal. Like me and my dad the other day. Have you heard of futsal?
Yeah,
it's basically
no,
just
of course,
six aside and side.
Futsal is, yeah.
Right, like it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
Me and my dad just found ourselves watching Sporting FC, which is my Portuguese team, by the way, and I can't remember the other team. It was like Kraken, something weird like that, right? And we watched the whole game. It was really entertaining.
Yeah.
But they won't push it. They'll put it on when everyone's at work, no one's watching football, and they'll push everything else prime time and leave it at that. And that's the problem, because they don't recognize that they are the ones that can generate profit.
Yeah.
And YouTube is good for that sense, because what they'll do is they'll find people on a consistent basis and then push the algorithm to kind of fit on their platform.
Yeah.
And that's why I really respect what YouTube's done.
Correct.
And many years ago, people were exploiting YouTube for money, and now they've kind of gone, we're going to restrict that and actually take it back to what creativity means.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot better creatives come on board now onto the YouTube space. But Sky Sports, BT Sport, Marvel in the filmmaking world, Warner Brothers, all these big platforms have a responsibility.
That's exactly
It's not
exactly the word.
It's not a choice, and it's not a something they should consider.
Yeah.
It's a responsibility. And with big money, big power. With big platform, big power. With fame comes power. You have a responsibility, and it's a consequence. You chose it.
Yeah. With great power comes great responsibility. There you go.
So
word to Uncle Ben.
So they have a responsibility.
It's their duty.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think when you're as big as these corporations, these organizations, you've got to find a way not to only sustain yourself, but to create an environment, to create almost another, I'm struggling for words here, but you've got to be able to create more sustenance, you've got to allow people to sustain themselves now.
Yeah.
You know, you're this mega, corporation that streams football or whatever.
I don't get this concept, and maybe when I'm a billionaire, I'll become a and say fuck everyone else. That might have to get bleeped. But it's true. Like, I don't get what happens once you've made a few billion or a few million.
Yeah, it's like your head goes, doesn't it?
You're like, oh shit, I need to keep what's mine.
Yeah.
Hoarding and not help anyone else. Whereas I come from the standpoint of no. I want to, even at my age and my platform at the moment, I want to help as many people as I can. I want to bring as many people on on every film I do, or every project I do. And why wouldn't you want to do the same?
It's that crab in the bucket mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I can't have it, no one else can. Like, when I get there, I'm not putting anyone else on. Like, I think it's so silly. And like you said, I'm very much in the vein of what I have, or if I have a platform, if I have an opportunity, I feel like it's my duty to then give back. You know, it's my duty to help put other people on. And, without tooting my own horn, I've done that. And I will continue to do that, because that's just how I am. Yeah. Because I understand the value of getting to a certain point and putting your friends on, or putting other people on. You know, it's not, there's room for everyone at the top. You know, there's not only one place on the stage. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's something that people don't understand, is like, they think that once you're on top, you're very lonely at the top. You can choose whether you want to be lonely or not.
Oh, facts.
And you can actually make way to make that podium much bigger.
Exactly.
You can be the one.
And
you can be the one to make those steps to the podium much easier.
Yeah.
And going back to the Super League, like, the owners didn't do that.
I agree. Okay.
They didn't do. The owners of the big clubs didn't do that. Instead, they made those steps much harder, because they went, no, we're the best of the best because we've got money. And Man City were no one 16 years ago, 17 years ago.
You're telling me.
Genuinely.
You're telling me, yeah.
Like,
losing to Middlesbrough and that.
Do you know what I mean?
What's going on?
Well, Arsenal.
No disrespect to Middlesbrough.
But no, Arsenal do that on a daily basis. Anyway, fucking point. Genuinely, like Arsenal, like Man City were no one 17 years ago. Suddenly they got a bit of money. Now they're a big team. And they are a huge team. They are amazing. I love this. I love Pep. I love the current Man City squad. But to not recognize that money got them there, you're an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think a lot of it is but that's the nature of football. I think if you don't invest,
No.
you don't get the dividends.
Yeah.
I think
That's the nature of the world.
yeah.
Don't just shit on football.
I think football's it's like a microcosm. Yeah,
of the world.
Of the world. Yeah.
Money makes money, and we spoke about this ages ago when I think it was just after Ripples. We were talking about like the problem that people have with football is the money, and I know this is something that really hits home for you.
Yeah,
in the sense of like you said something to me once, and I'm going to let you say it
Mm.
because you sum it up really well.
Mm.
But football is hated because of the money it generates. But people need to start realizing that the government doesn't pay football, but football pays football.
Football pays football.
Like,
It's
an
its
industry.
own little
It's its own
It's
industry.
its own little circle.
And the reason that it's so popular, the reason it makes so much money is because it's so popular.
Yeah, correct. And
So yeah, but you say a really nice. You've got a really nice phrase.
I said that football for a large part of football, it's a meritocracy. You get out what you put in. You will earn or make from the game as good as you put in. And I think the people the problem have is they don't like the fact that Raheem Sterling from Brent can make as much as someone who went through private school, you know, had all the best tutors and all that, and has got a really nice job. They don't like that because they see it as, hold on, you didn't work hard to get there. And that's why people hate football. And people don't understand exactly what it takes to be a footballer, especially at the top level. And if you haven't seen levels in football, you know, what I'm saying right now won't resonate with you at all. But people don't understand that it is a brutal, brutal game. And I genuinely think that people get onto footballers because they don't like the fact that they think it's the easy way. Yeah. You know, you get paid to kick a ball around. It is so much more than that. Like, I hear it all the time, not just with football. Like, people say dance isn't a skill or acting isn't a skill or even this. You know, I've seen you guys set this up. People will go, editing. We were talking about it in the car, weren't we? People say, oh, editing's easy. Editing isn't a skill. Like, how disconnected must you be to assume that someone's craft, you know, something that someone's worked hard on, isn't a skill? Like, how silly do you have to be? I think I talk about football a lot because it's my background, but I think it's really ridiculous that you can look at someone perfecting their craft and you go, nah, didn't work hard, don't deserve it, because it is ridiculous.
But then we can say the same. The problem is they have it mainly for football because there is so much money in it.
Yeah.
Even if they were on half, no, let's say, who's the highest earner in the Premier League? Let's say, got to be De Bruyne, someone like that. He's on like 200K a week, right?
Someone.
Say if he was on.
Oh, it is Bale, isn't it? He's
how
on
much is he on?
600, 650, something like that.
Fucking
G
bastard.
Bale, if you're watching,
Come on the podcast.
yeah,
please.
begging
No,
you.
I'm Do you know? No. Do you know who I really want on the podcast?
Who?
Read my mind. Really think about it.
Jose.
Football. Yeah.
Jose, I know you got the TalkSport
Right,
deal
I've
and
got-
that, but listen,
I've
there's
got-
always a space right here.
I've got a story about Jose really quickly.
Oh,
My
go on.
mum met him in Trent Park.
Oh, I think I
Yeah.
heard this.
So my mum was taking a drive in Trent Park with her friend.
Yeah.
And she stops and my mum's friend goes, that's Jose. Because my mum's friend's a Spurs fan.
Mm.
My mum is not a football fan. And she goes, oh yeah.
Is that the team with the chicken balancing on
cock.
the basketball?
The cock,
Oh,
as the
wow.
Arsenal like to call them.
Harsh.
No offense, Lewis.
Sorry, Lewis.
Um,
We're not going to show that on camera.
And then my mum, like, so my mum's friend is really like, oh my God, Jose, up the Spurs. Yeah. And my mum just busses out Portuguese because my mum's Portuguese. And Jose just goes, you speak Portuguese? I can't speak Portuguese.
What are you doing with your life?
Hold on.
What are you doing with your life? Learn some Portuguese, bro.
It's hard. It's a hard
What are you
language.
playing at?
I got kicked out of Greek school as a kid as well.
So
I'm Greek, Portuguese,
so you're
and Egyptian,
useless.
right?
So you're useless. Is that what you're saying? So
Cheers.
you're useless.
Cheers.
All right. Cool.
Cheers. I remember
This is
that.
all he does.
I remember. What languages do you speak? I know you speak French.
French, Lingala. That's it.
Just read your Tinder profile.
I don't have Tinder.
I was talking about apparently Tinder's not a good dating app anymore.
I wouldn't know. Honestly, I wouldn't know.
But anyway, so yeah, my mum met Jose. So Jose, if you want to come on the podcast, I'll bring my mum and she can, I don't know.
Yeah, just chop it up.
You know.
Stepdad. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jose. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Anyways, yeah, I want Jose in the podcast. I don't know how we got to that.
What were we talking about?
Damn
Damn it.
it. What was he talking about?
We went Spurs. How did we get to Jose?
Oh, this is the point I was going to make. I was like, even if footballers were on like
Oh,
a
okay.
grand a week, people still wouldn't be happy.
Oh, facts.
Because they're not on a grand a week, and it comes down to people don't like their jobs
yeah,
in a really weird
It's-
psychological way. People don't like that they're doing jobs that they don't enjoy, and people are and earning a really good income for it.
and it's like, let's say a bus driver, reputable profession, but if you're a bad bus driver, or not even a bus driver, let's say an office worker, your average office worker, if you're a bad office worker, there's not going to be someone over your shoulder going, you're bad, you can't do this, just quit while you're ahead, etc., etc., etc. But if you're a bad footballer, if you're a bad actor, if you're a bad filmmaker, editor, director, whatever, you could lose your livelihood.
And that's why I've stopped. I've really tried to stop this whole like. This is why I didn't say Arteta out last night, and this is why I don't say Aubameyang shit. I do say they need to be subbed off.
It's relative. It's all relative.
I say they need to
isn't
be
it?
subbed off because they're not playing a good game and stuff like that. But on Twitter, I will never ever. And someone might go into my tweets now and find something that I've said. But I am
This you?
sorry if I've said it.
This you?
But I try not to because I remember I was watching a game of football with my dad once, and this was years ago. And I think I was like going, "Oh, he's shit. He's shit. Why is he playing for my club?" And my dad went, "Yeah, but if that was your son."
Exactly. That's a great point.
And my dad just shut me up. And I just went,
It's a
fuck,
great.
you're right.
Like, yeah, it's
Like, he was like, when I used to watch you play football, and I remember I missed a penalty once, right? Cheers for laughing, you fucking prick.
Let's
I
get
missed a
Bruno
penalty.
Fernandes on the podcast, mate. It's gonna be a Portuguese like little link up.
So I missed a penalty once,
Yeah.
right? And I came off crying. And
Sorry, that's not funny.
It's hilarious now.
funny.
But my dad, I remember my dad going, "It's all right, it's all right." Now, if my dad was Twitter, and I was on a global scale, and imagine I missed a penalty, done.
It's
Done for.
It's a great
done
point.
for.
Yeah, it's a great point you make.
But they never think that these are humans. And this is why I'm not Arteta out, right? And I'm not.
Stay or go?
He has to go.
He has to go, blood.
Go, blood.
And who would you bring in?
Allegri blood.
Okay. Allegri, blood.
Right. And that's why I'm not Arteta out. Because I'm thinking about the human here, right?
Yeah.
And Arsenal fans are going to rip into me.
Oh, mate.
We need to think about this man. He's been given a really hard job in Arsenal Football Club. He's not experienced. I think there is a good manager in Arteta.
I agree.
I do think there's time. And anyone in any profession, if they're thrown in the deep end, they don't excel first trial. And he got an FA Cup, right? And people shit on the Community Shield a lot, right? But you still had to beat Liverpool, who won the Premier League.
I genuinely think the Community Shield is underrated.
Well, a lot of Spurs fans came on to me going, "Oh, anyone can win the Community Shield." I said, "Yeah, well, you have to win a Premier League or an FA Cup, mate."
Exactly.
No
you
offense.
deserve to be there. He's going to trash the set in a
Do you
minute.
know what I mean? But it's true. Like, so we still had to beat Liverpool. Yes, it was on penalties and Ryan Brewster missed a penalty. We still had to beat Liverpool. So there's a good manager there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not playing a 3-4-3 formation anymore. That worked for us. But I think he got upset with people going, "Oh, they just play defensively and then sit back." It worked for Jose for fucking how many years?
For years. Exactly. That's another thing. Like,
It works.
there's no one way
Tuchel
to play
does it.
football.
Fucking Tuchel does it.
I hate people that say football should be played a certain way because
No.
it shouldn't.
Just because Pep Guardiola plays attractive-looking football doesn't mean that Jose was playing the most attractive football in Spain at one point. Spain, which is arguably the founder of tiki-taka football, right? Jose went over there and went, "I'm going to counter-attack and park the bus, and you're going to love it."
Yeah.
And Madrid fans fucking loved it.
They won the league.
They won the league, right? So there is no winning games is attractive football.
That's exactly the point. It's everything's relative.
Right.
Everything's relative.
I think there's a good manager in Arteta because he's beat the likes of City. He's beat the likes of Liverpool. He's beat who were all playing attractive style football. And we were playing like playing out from the back works, but when we're losing 1-0, it doesn't work.
Get out
So
of the pitch.
that's why I'm not Arteta out. Because I'm thinking of the human. I'm thinking if we fire this guy now, it could damage the future of his career. Imagine having Arsenal sack you.
Yeah.
It worked for Unai Emery. He went over to Villarreal. But
I
a
don't think
new
Arteta,
manager.
Arteta doesn't have that reputation
No.
where you could go and grab
Unai Emery was at PSG,
Yeah,
Valencia.
yeah.
Was it Valencia? Yeah. He was at other big clubs,
Yeah.
right? Arteta's literally come
Sevilla.
and been given the hardest, I'd say, the hardest managerial task in the whole of Premier League this year.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, was Jose's job hard at Spurs? No. I just think him in Spurs didn't work. Was Chris Wilder's job at Sheffield United hard this year? No. I think he lost a lot of good players in the summer and doesn't have the funds. And what they did last year was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, great season.
Has anyone had a harder season than Arteta this year?
Yeah, I don't think so, to be fair.
Ole Gunnar
It's a
Solskjaer has
hard
excelled
job.
here. Brendan Rodgers.
job.
Brendan Rodgers is an exceptional manager with experience. But did Brendan Rodgers not suffer with Liverpool? Like, suffer?
Yeah, bad.
So,
He had to go and find himself. He had to go
Exactly.
up to the mountains of Scotland
do you know what I mean?
to find himself again.
So, don't sack Arteta. Get rid of the fucking board. KSC out, right? Bring Ek in.
oh, man.
But this is really good because Ek is going, I'm going to bring the Invincibles in as well. How long have we been talking about football for? Fucking ages.
Ages, bro.
Right. Bring Ek in. Who's going to bring the Invincibles in.
Yeah.
And what that's doing is bringing in spirit of Arsenal again. Right?
Yeah. People make fun of Solskjaer for going on about United DNA, but it works.
It works.
I promise you.
You broke the
It's a culture.
number 7 curse last night.
It's a
with Cavani.
culture. It is a culture.
Football is, and we lost on the day that Wenger retired at Arsenal Football Club. My heart,
The stars were just perfectly aligned.
I
weren't they?
cried my eyes out. Like, I didn't cry my eyes out, but I had tears. I was such a soppy bitch last night.
It's
I was so sad.
going back to the human point you made. One of my friends, he plays non-league. He's got 16 goals this season. As we're recording this, he's got 16 goals in the league, which is quite a lot considering he's only had about 22, 23 games. But he missed a penalty the other week. And I hopped on Twitter and someone called him useless. And I was like,
It just doesn't work for me.
he's got 16 goals.
But this is it.
You wouldn't be where you are without him.
This is it.
So shut up.
This is exactly it. Like, suddenly, Arteta won us an FA Cup, won us so many games, beat the likes of Liverpool and City and all these clubs. Yes, we're having a shit season, but it's the hardest season in the world at the moment.
Everything's relative.
Everything's
I
relative.
agree. Yeah.
And it's like, right. So last week, Partey was an exceptional performer, was one of the best signings in Premier League history to Arsenal fans. And then they went, oh, he should play a lone pivot in the midfield. We don't need Xhaka beside him. We played him lone pivot last night. Suddenly, Partey's the worst player in the world.
He had too much super malt.
Twitter,
It's brutal, isn't it?
Twitter
It is
literally
brutal.
went, he is the worst signing. Why is he playing lone pivot? You fucking asked for it.
Brutal. It is
You
brutal.
asked for it. And then you didn't like it. Arteta was doing something right with Partey when he played him with Xhaka. But that's all I've got to say.
That's a
about
different
Arsenal.
conversation, by the way. I think Granit Xhaka's an unbelievable player. I think he's a player.
Thank you. He's a great player. He struggled under Emery because him and Emery didn't get along, and Emery didn't get along with Arsenal. Like, that's just fact. I think Emery could have excelled at Arsenal if he had proper owners. Do you know what? Proper owners who actually gave a fuck about football as a sport. But yeah, I think we should have a little break and order some food because my belly's rumbling. I need to go piss.
Let's get some food.
We'll be back in 2
After
minutes.
this ad break.
After this ad break.
Are you hungry? We'll get some bloody food in you.
What do you want to order? I'll just keep recording. You're not off the hook here.
Go on.
You've never had a Taco Bell.
Never had a Taco Bell.
That's fine because there's not a lot of them in the UK.
Yeah, there you go.
You've never had a Wagamama's.
Nope. Overrated, I think, anyways. Well, actually, I can't say overrated. But, nah, it doesn't look as appealing as everyone says. Everyone gets the same thing. What do you get? What do you get?
I don't get it.
All right, what do you get?
I get either. Yeah, they're fucking beautiful. I get the. No, not ramen. What's the other thing? No.
If you get a katsu
I
curry,
had a naked katsu curry once.
okay.
It's without the breadcrumbs. Healthier.
Brilliant.
You've never had a Wagamama's?
Never, bro.
Wow. Welcome back to the podcast. We took a little piss break.
Yeah.
We've ordered some
That's
food.
definitely what I did. Yeah? Yeah? All right.
Getting Paul in a
fantastic.
shot. Yeah, we've ordered some food. Food will be here shortly. Shout out to the amazing people at pyro.com studios for hooking us up with this amazing studio. I love it here. Right. My voice sounded funny there. Something I do want to talk about actually is the inspiration of why I wanted to start a podcast is True Geordie. And he is like, I've got many inspirations in life, right? Many in the film sector, you know, amazing directors that I regard, David Fincher, Martin Scorsese, go on and on. Some actors that I love, DiCaprio. In the film world, acting world, writing world. But when it comes to YouTube, or just why I wanted to start a podcast, is because I saw True Geordie and what he was doing. And over the years, I've been following him since day dot, since he made his first video about hating on Nile Ranger.
What a guy.
And then I saw this podcast just blow up that he was doing. But as a podcaster, he's an inspiration. Him and Lawrence McKenna. Lawrence McKenna as a filmmaker as well is a huge inspiration. And their most recent podcast, they talk about leaving a legacy and this idea of if they actually are. And I can say, if this ever is seen by them, they've left a legacy in me because I'm starting a podcast. Not solely because of them, but they are a huge part of that. And Lawrence McKenna's filmmaking skills is impeccable, and what they've done with the kickoff and everything is absolutely amazing. But True Geordie as a man is an inspiration. And yesterday I was getting a bit nervous about, we're starting our first podcast and all that. And I remember I started watching some old podcasts of him, seeing how he conducts himself, how he talks, him and Lawrence alike. And then I watched The Rebuild Part 2. And The Rebuild is a series of him getting back into shape because he feels he let himself go. And Brian is a 6 foot, bless you with health.
Thank you very much.
Is a 6 foot something big lad, right? And there was a really nice moment in The Rebuild Part 2 where he did contact sparring for the first time. And he'd felt a punch for the first time in a boxing scenario. And he kind of collapsed to the floor. He get knocked out, round over. He trains with, I don't know if you know Vidal Riley.
Yeah.
He trains with Vidal Riley's dad. And he collapsed to the floor at the end and just got really emotional. And Vidal's dad was just going, it's okay, it happens in boxing, don't worry. And he goes, I just really miss my mum. And I found myself just going, wow. What Brian and what the True Geordie channel overall and what Lawrence and Brian together have done is create a community of typical lads and said, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And what they've done for mental health
is
a testimony in the YouTube space that no one's really done.
Yeah.
We've had YouTubers come out and gone, men predominantly go, I've felt sad, I've suffered from anxiety. But what Brian said is actually giving you an explicit and blunt way talking about it. And his journey as a YouTuber, as a football fan, and what he's doing is leveling up what YouTube is. And it only inspires me as a full-on creator and someone who wants to do much more than just client videos. I want to do my own stuff. I want to do loads of different stuff. He's a massive inspiration for that. So I want to say a big thank you to that whole channel. And you know me, like for how many months we've been talking about this, I'm like, have you seen the latest podcast? This is how I want it to look. This is how I want it to feel. Stuff like that. So Brian, if you're watching, I'd love to be on your podcast. Maybe wait until this one grows a bit of traction or I do something of notability to get you on. If you want to, there's always a seat here for you and Lawrence there. Honestly, thank you for existing and doing something for the YouTube space.
I think, you make a great point. There's space now for that kind of thing. There's space to talk about men's mental health.
And it's something really close to my heart and something that I probably, some stories that I won't reveal in the first podcast, but I was on the Wise Media podcast. Shout out to people on Wise Media. And I was kind of saying that podcasting is like therapy. And I'm a big advocate for therapy, talking therapy.
Ditto.
Ditto. I think it should be something that's encouraged, not deferred, especially for males. And I think we're going through a period in time where men are finding it hard to talk about their problems. And on a funnier note, like I said to you in the car journey here, did you watch that Blue Therapy thing that came out yesterday? This leads me on to a very good point.
Boy. Oh. Go on.
There was a woman on it, and I'm going to name names.
But one of them,
if
if you're watching, marry me. No, not the one you're about to talk
Yeah.
about. The other one. And you know,
Yeah,
I've
she was great.
tweeted you, marry me.
Did you tweet her?
I did. I don't know if she's probably not seen it. But
I need to find it.
this was last week's episode. But I did tweet about you. So babes, if you're out there, pre it. And her current partner has the same name as me. So it's a straight swap. You don't even need to learn.
Paul.
Yeah, you don't even.
Paul, wait. You're taking the fucking piss.
What am I doing?
I'm just saying. You're taking the piss. What was I going to?
You don't even need to learn. She doesn't even need to learn a new name because it's the same name.
You actually did tweet her. This is brilliant.
And that gave me attraction.
But anyways, like one of them was going in with the mentality of like a man has to provide for me. A man has to do this. A man has to do that. And I tweeted, if you're one of these women that think like that, you are the sole reason that the male suicide rate statistic is really high. Not the sole reason, actually. You're one of the many reasons.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. Yeah.
One is toxic masculinity that is informed from birth.
Correct.
2 is some women's perception on what a man should be because of what men have been told to be their whole life. And 3 is the fact that therapy and having a sense of emotion or anything isn't encouraged.
Discouraged, isn't it?
And even talking about it, like it's really hard to talk about. And this is why I applaud Brian and True Geordie for what they've done, because he's got to a point where he's like, I'm just going to say what happened. Like in his most recent podcast, he talked about his father really having a bad panic attack, and him and Brian just basically opening up about he had to stop himself committing suicide and stuff like that. And it's just,
it's heart-wrenching, isn't it?
It's heart-wrenching, but at the same time so empowering.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because you're suddenly going, and look, I'm not 6'3", or whatever he is. I'm 5'8". Well, I tell people I'm 5'8". I'm really not. But
wait, is this an exclusive? Hold up.
I don't know what. No, shall I tell you what it is? I don't know what I am. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". They're going to bring a measure.
Yeah, we actually have to do that next time.
I have to measure myself next time because I genuinely don't know how tall I am. I think I'm 5'8". I've got to be. How tall are you?
About 5'11", mate.
Yeah, I've got to be 5'8", 5'9" then. But anyways, I'm not 6'3", and he's 20 stone, right? So he can knock out all 3 of us in this room, right?
Well, don't know about that. No, I'm sorry, Geordie. Sorry, mate.
But if a man like that, someone who on the exterior looks like what every man should be,
exactly,
can say the words, I had to stop myself committing suicide. I feel sad. I'm on antidepressants. I go to therapy. That's what men need. And I want more men to come forward and say that.
I definitely, I'm with you on that. And I just have to look at my dad as a prime example. My dad's never been one to portray showing emotion as being a weakness. Nice. So for me, I've always felt comfortable speaking about how I feel. Well, I say that. I haven't felt comfortable talking to other people about how I feel because I think that takes a lot. Yeah, it does take a lot.
I can happily, not happily, but I can easily say that I've never really sat down with a mate and gone, I feel sad. Yeah, I've always had to go to someone special. You know what I mean?
I'm the same. I don't think I have either. But I still remember my dad told me he loved me. Like he said, I love you. And when I think I was about 12. I was like, yeah, right. Like I took it for granted, but he meant it.
Yeah.
And that meant so much to me because that was seen as the kind of the weak thing to say.
Do you not sign off your phone calls saying love you?
I do.
I do.
And
that's because I'm not fucking ashamed to say that.
Like my brother gets embarrassed because my little brother, he's 13.
Right there, yeah, it's fine.
Like he's all right, but it's because it makes me feel comfortable because even if he takes it as a joke, he knows that deep down I love him, no matter what.
I sign every phone call with my family as love you. Sometimes with you. I've said love you.
No.
To you.
No.
Lewis, I love you too. But we don't really talk on the phone too much. But once I start ringing you, I'll say love you at the end. No, but I do say love you to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And in my later years, Fucking
I'm
sound
so
like,
sorry.
sound like 60. What? It's the food here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful scenes of glorious emotion. Shout out Hugh Wizzy.
Hello. All right. Oh, I'm coming. Sweet.
Scenes of glorious emotion. You did say love you.
Right.
Can we say the name of the brand we're about to eat?
It's
But if we want them to sponsor us, we can.
Wacko Fell.
Back Hotel, sponsor us. We're about to eat your food, and we will continue eating your food week in, week out. Oh, now it's just me and you. I have not much to say, but yeah, big shout out to some YouTubers and some people that have inspired me to do this, Paul alike, and this whole thing that we're trying to do. Shout out True Geordie. Shout out Lawrence McKenna. Who else should we shout out? Me mom, me dad. Who else? Everyone. Shout out everyone in the world. Right, we're going to get some food.